Welcome to Spirit Hunters Paranormal 911. My name is Tim, and if you're not a member of our channel, please hit that subscribe button, become one of our fans. Be sure to share with everyone you know. That way they can become a member of our channel as well. Hit that like button, that way it lets us know what videos you are enjoying. And also, if you'd like to see more of our videos, hit that notification bell. That way every time one of our videos comes out, you will be notified. Also, if you have any comments, be sure to hit that comment down below. Let us know if you have a question or something you'd like to say about our videos. Please do so. We'll get back to you on your comment just as quick as we can. If you watched my last video, I kind of put out there on some of the different areas that I'm fixing to do videos on. Of course, we've been doing videos lately here, researching on cemeteries, seeing if we're able to communicate with any of the spirits there. Because a lot of the people say that if you're died, you're not going to hang around the cemetery. You're going to be either at a place where family members are, or possibly even a hospital or a funeral home. They just don't hang around where the funeral or where the cemeteries are. But in some of my research, with some of the communications I've been able to get and pick up on, there are spirits there. Pretty much just about anywhere you can come across spirits. It doesn't have to be haunted places. It can be in your home. You could have a family member there. You just don't know it. But they are around us all the time. Now, I do have an ability, I'm kind of gifted, you could say, that I'm an empath, and I'm able to pick up on a lot of things. My gift allows me to do many different things, which helps me out, in this field, being a paranormal investigator. Some of the videos that, as I mentioned, that I will be doing in my last video, be different things. There'll be some educational videos talking about ways to do paranormal investigations. There'll be videos on some of the equipment that's out there, what it does, what it's used for, how to use them. I do have videos that I do from a lot of the questions that viewers and other people ask me, that I try to answer them. A lot of these are going to be educational. You will see other videos where we're at site doing one of our investigations. I do a lot of, I guess you could be client investigations, where somebody has some type of paranormal activity, or some kind of action going on in their homes or businesses. We go to try to find out exactly what's going on, if there is anything there. Most of these I cannot put out in video because they're more of client privacy, confidentiality, to where they prefer to keep this information away from the public. But we will be able to do videos where we talk about some of these cases that we've done, be able to tell some of the ins and outs, what we were looking for, what happened, what we captured. It'd be just something that we can't show on video, to where you can actually see some of the things that we were able to capture. So it's going to kind of be like, you're going to have to use your own judgment on whether you want to believe or you don't want to believe. Now, my videos, a lot of people say, well, you're professional, or I don't really want to say that I'm a professional. I don't think anybody really is. We're just, a lot of us, we have a lot of experience from different cases we've done, the studies we've done, places we've been. Nobody's really a professional, in my opinion. we're just well experienced. We've had a lot of time going to places, investigating, learning as much as we can. I communicate with a lot of other paranormal teams that are out there around the world. We're learning from each other. I mean, there's none of us that really know everything. We're always coming across something new, and I feel that we always will. There's no end to it. Just because we think, well, we've seen it all, something new comes up, something different, and we try to capture it on video or on through EVPs. You know, try to explain what's going on. We just never know what's going to happen. It's not like the spirits. We can go there and have them perform for us. You know, they're going to do what they want to do when they want to do it. So it makes it real difficult sometimes to be able to capture things or get any type of activity. I've always told people that if you're going to get into this type of research or investigating, you have to have a lot of patience, because there'll be times you go out there and you may spend hours and get nothing. And there'll be times you go out there, within 5 minutes, you have things start to happen. We just never know. So if you're getting into doing this for the first time, don't get discouraged because nothing happened or you didn't get anything on the camera or through spirit box or EVPs, or didn't see nothing move, didn't hear nothing. Don't get discouraged. You know, just stick with it, be patient, and eventually things will happen. The video that I'm doing today is more or less for beginners, people that are thinking about getting into doing paranormal investigating, which I call it either ghost hunting or spirit hunting. This video is more educational to kind of help you out, because I have a lot of people, you know, want to know, well, how do you get into it? What equipment do you need? Is there any certain way you do the investigation? You know, just different questions. First of all, I will say that there is really no right way or wrong way to do an investigation. We all have our own styles. We do it differently. I don't stick with one style. I have different things I'll do. I'll mix them up. I'll change them out. Just depends on what kind of feeling I get or what kind of activity trying to capture, what type of spirits that I'm trying to communicate with. There's many different ways of going about it. There's different equipment you can use. I mean, I even use trigger toys trying to get them to interact with the spirits. A lot of these items, the equipment and everything, I will explain on another video. I'll kind of fill you in on some of the equipment that's out there that you can use. You know, what they do, different ways you can use them. That'll be on a different video I'll put out. But I'll say this video that I'm doing is kind of helping people that's getting into it, or people that's just recently started, that may have some questions on possibly something they think they may be doing wrong because they're not getting any activity. Hopefully this video will help explain some, give you a little bit more knowledge, some other things you might try that will help you out. It'd be kind of hard for me to try to give this information to people that have been doing it for many years, that have experience, because they pretty much know what's going on, have their own game plan or their own way of doing it. So when you're doing paranormal investigation, you know, I kind of do it in stages. You know, the first stage I do, I'll figure out where I want to go, what I'm going to try to communicate with, contact with, what type of entities I'm going to try to capture. Just have a basic idea of what you're really out there trying to do. Once you have that, you kind of generally have an idea in your head of, you know, that type of situation. The next thing you want to do is a little bit of research on where you're planning on investigating, whether it's a house, a cemetery, a haunted building, even out in the woods, near a bridge. I try to find places that, either, to put it mildly, or I don't know, you can put it mildly, but places where there has been death, whether it was accidental or some kind of, I don't know, major event that happened where several people have died. Uh, you got, like I say, you got hospitals and funeral homes, but you're going to find out that you really don't want to go to hospitals unless there's an abandoned one, because it's just not right doing something like this around people that are sick or in the hospital. They don't go too well for that type of activity going around. Same with funeral homes. It's kind of a law that you can't do it there. You can do it if it was an establishment that used to have been a funeral home at one time, but it's a different business. You can do it. If you get the permission, make sure you have permission when you go to these places. You don't want to go into a place that you don't have permission. It's private property, because it can cause you some consequences with the law. So be sure you make sure you do that. Cemeteries, you have to abide by their rules as far as their hours of open. Uh, whether they're open at a certain time or closed at a certain time. You don't want to go in there after those hours, because once again, that could cause you a little bit of trouble with the law. I have been able to find some that they don't have any postings on there of hours or when they close or private property. Those, to me, I'm pretty much, it's open to the public 24 hours. So those are fine to go into. Bridges, they're not, no restrictions there. You might have to put up with people or traffic around, but that's part of doing paranormal investigation. Sometimes you'll be in a noisy place, sometimes you'll be in a quiet place. Quiet places are much better because it's easier to catch the sounds around you, pick up on things or see things that if you're around a public place with a lot of activity going on, a lot of times you'll miss stuff. A lot of questions I do get asked that, well, doesn't it have to be a place that's known to be haunted or said to be haunted? Absolutely not. You could have some type of spirit activity in your own home. A family member that has passed away. You may not realize that they're there because you don't have any noise happening or anything moving or banging or anything. You don't get any type of signs. They could be trying to do something that we're just kind of overlooking, or not really paying attention, looking for anything. They could be trying to do little subtle things here and there, trying to get your attention, but a lot of times we don't know that they're there. I have gone into homes that I did a research and study on places that don't have any history of any type of paranormal activity, that I've gone into and just do a study, do a little bit of investigating, see if I could pick up on any type of energy, pick up on any spirit activity, try to communicate with them. And I'm not saying that it'll happen all the time, but I have had it happen. So just because it's not haunted, whether it's in your home or another place, doesn't mean that there may not be any type of spirits there. They are everywhere, as far as I'm concerned. That's my opinion. Other people are going to have their own opinion, say no, they're not there. It has to be in a haunted place. So just kind of use that up to your own judgment. I am doing a study right now. It's kind of a volunteer study with people that want to get involved, or which will allow us to come into their home and if they had somebody that passed away they would like to try to communicate with, we'll try to communicate with them. Of course, a lot of that again is kind of client confidential, privacy. We have to abide by. I'm hoping that some of them that will allow us to use our videos, be able to show people We might have to not show the people, not have their names anywhere in there or the locations, but to actually show some of the content that we're catching through our spirit box or maybe some other method of communication. Hopefully we'll be able to show some of those videos. Back to doing investigation, we've already covered doing some research on getting all the information you can, then kind of get you a game plan together. Um, you know what you're trying to capture, what you're trying to accomplish in your investigation or your research, you know, whichever you're doing. That way you have a general idea of, you know, what you're going to do once you get to your location. If you're going to try to just video, see if you can capture, you know, possibly shadow figures or apparitions. Going to use your EVPs, trying to pick up on sounds or voices. You're going there just to see if you can capture different sounds, something walking around you, feel like something's watching you, see if something will touch you. You know, kind of have yourself a game plan of what you're going to do when you go to do your investigation. Because there's just so many things you can do in an investigation that, I mean, I probably have 10, 15, probably even more of different things that I can do in an investigation, uh, you know, what I'm trying to accomplish. And I will go over some of those different type things in a different video as well. Once you get to your location, you know, you'll have your equipment, which I will go over in another video explaining on equipment and how it works. But have your equipment, make sure everything is in good shape, good running order, all your batteries are good and charged. Be sure you have some extra batteries, because spirits will drain energy out of your flashlights, out of your camcorders, your camera, your phone, your flashlights. This is one way they get their energy. They draw from our equipment. And I've gone into places with a full battery, and which would last me, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and with 15 minutes it was dead because the power was drained. You know, so make sure you have some backup batteries. Your equipment is all charged before you go. You know, I usually take my video cam, which has night vision. That way I'm trying to capture and document evidence. I use a digital voice recorder. Sometimes I'll use it to ask questions and see if I can get a response back from the spirit, because we may not be able to hear them, but through our equipment, I don't know how it works, but it is able to pick up on spirit voices. So, you know, I always take that with me. I use a spirit box. It's not necessary. It's something that beginners, they may not want to use. There are some apps that you can download on your phone. A lot of those apps, they're more of an entertainment. They're not really beneficial to paranormal investigation. However, there are some that are there that you can get free. There are some that are real reasonably priced, affordable, that actually do work. I've probably tried out every app that was available to see if it actually was something that could be used in a paranormal investigation, or whether it was more or less like a game or just entertainment. And majority of them I've had to just, nope, does not work. But there are some that do work, and in my video of equipment I will explain on some of those that you can get. But I do take a spirit box with me. What this device is, it's something that the spirits are able to manipulate and able to speak through it, to where we can hear a voice. May not be their voice, but it will be a voice that comes through. Um, I want to make sure I have, some say just, well, I'll just take one flashlight, take a backup with you. Because if one goes out, you have another one with you. I always carry two flashlights on me. One that I'm using, if it goes out, I have a backup. That way, I know that something's draining my equipment. A lot of times I'll carry some extra batteries in my backpack, because I'll carry a backpack with me. To carry some of my equipment, it's a little easier that way, because I'm not having to carry everything in my hand. Because I'll have my camera in one hand, and I'll either have a flashlight in the other hand, and then I generally go with somebody or have somebody go with me. We team up. I recommend that. You probably want to do that. There are some that go out there alone and do that, which is fine. I mean, that's your choice. I can't say to do it or don't do it, but I do know that if you are by yourself and you do come across a dark energy or an angry energy, where something could happen, you don't have no backup there. Uh, if something would happen to you, you have somebody else with you. So I kind of recommend it. I mean, I have done, um, a lot of stuff by myself, but then I've been doing this for years, and I'm kind of a little bit more fortunate than a lot, because I do have a special gift that I was kind of blessed with my whole life, so that kind of helps me out quite a bit. And yeah, you may have seen some of my other videos and know what I'm talking about, and I'll probably do another video to explain that a little bit more as well. I always tell people that when they're doing their investigations, don't feel like you have to rush through it. Take your time, be patient. You have to have a lot of patience, I guarantee you. Because like I say, you will be times you might spend a couple hours there get nothing. The other time you go, in 5 minutes something's happening. I found a lot of times that I've gone to a place and nothing has happened. I've gone back to the place a second time and nothing has happened. Sometimes it takes 3, 4 times. It's almost like the spirits are there because I feel them around me. I get that presence, energy that they are there, and it's like they're watching us. They know we're there, but they're staying off in a distance. They're following us around. A lot of times, the reason behind that, I think, is because they don't know us. We're going into their home, actually. They don't know us. They're not sure why we're there. They see all this equipment that the majority of them that have passed away in the early 1900s or the 1800s, they've never seen any of this kind of equipment. Don't even know what it is. So they're kind of scared. They're unsure. So it's like they're kind of watching, following us around, checking us out, making sure that we're not there to harm them. The equipment's not going to harm them anyway. Like I say, it's kind of like they're scared, and they're just going to take a little time for them to start getting comfortable around us or feel secure before they start coming closer and starting to interact with us. So be patient. That eventually will happen. A lot of times when I go into cemetery if I go to a cemetery or house before I enter the property or whatever, I'm kind of a religious man. I always say a prayer, asking Lord to watch over us, protect us on our adventures here, but also kind of like I'm talking to the spirits or myself. I believe that there is a guardian spirit over a cemetery. I'm going to use it as an example. That there's a guardian spirit there that watches over the whole cemetery. I'll kind of present myself to him, who I am, what I'm doing there, basically asking for his permission to enter onto his property or come into his home, asking for permission to be able to communicate with the spirits that are there, I let him know that I'm not there to uh, harm them in any way. I'm not there to disrespect them in any way. Basically just tell them why you're there. Asking them for their permission. Um, as I go through, like I say, you don't want to rush. I may just walk through the gate and just talk to the spirits like I'm having a conversation with them, inviting them to come over and join us, to interact with us, talking to my camera. Uh, I use a K2 meter, otherwise known as an EMF meter. All this does, it picks up the magnetic energy that spirits energy puts out. Uh, it also will pick up any type of power source energy. It'll make it indicate, the lights will indicate. So if you're around a place where there's power, you know, make sure it's not the power setting it off instead of a spirit. Kind of debunk that, check that out. Um, I will go into another video on doing a house investigation because it's a little bit more touch and go. There's a lot of things that can actually make a lot of the things happen that you think is paranormal. But, I'll use it to see if I get any type of energy. Ask them to come over and touch it or come close to it, set the lights off. That way it'll let me know that their presence is around us. It'll let me know they're giving me some type of identification or indication that they're trying to communicate with us. Because a lot of times they won't speak to you. I don't know if they don't know how to or they just don't want to, but sometimes they won't do a lot of the things, but they'll do some of the easier things, such as make the K2 meter go off, or if you have a um, a trigger object. I call them like a ball that I might set on the ground on a flat surface to ask them to go move it. Or if it's a child spirit there, it's a toy for them to play with. They're welcome to come over and play with these toys. Come over there, know how to play, kick the ball, kick the ball. Try to capture something like that. These are easier things they can do, for them to come up and touch you, or kind of, if they get close to you, another sign is, uh, it's kind of like a change of temperature. The temperature that you're feeling right now, but you walk into a different area and all of a sudden it's like you walk into a cold spot. The temperature is just drastically different. A spirit energy puts out like a cold energy. So that's one way you can tell that there's some type of energy around there. Now, I'm not saying like you're going from one room into a freezer or a place that's got the AC totally blasting. When you come from the outside, 90 degrees, you come into the inside where it's 60 degrees. You can't go by that. But in a room that you're in, on this side of the room is one temperature if you're feeling, and you walk kind of across to the other side of the room and you walk into a cold spot. That is kind of an indication that there possibly could be something there. So kind of, you know, use your, I don't know, sixth sense, your gut feelings. Listen for different sounds, knocking sounds, something to move. Always keep watching out of the corner of your eye for catching something that may move. You may not actually catch it and turn to see. Uh, and you think, well, I think I just saw something move, but maybe I didn't. It might have been in my imagination. Just kind of pay attention to your surroundings, what's going on around you. But go from one place, stand there for a little bit and just, video around, look around, listen. A lot of times you might want to talk a little bit, ask some questions, and then just be silent. Just kind of give them their time. Allow them to do something. Basically, all we're doing is just watching and listening at this point. And then, maybe move to another area while you're talking. You'll be moving, and when you get to another area, just stop and do the same thing. Just move your camera back and forth. Don't want to go fast. Just kind of slowly, stop in little spots. Always try to stop around bushes, trees, bigger objects in there, because if there is a shadow figure or a spirit that has manifested, A lot of times they'll be kind of hiding behind these larger objects, peeking around the corner. But sometimes you can catch them, but if you're going too fast, you may just bypass them and not even really notice it. So I kind of go slow, and when I get around some trees, I'll slow down and kind of stay there for a little bit. Um, just do that throughout your investigation, and possibly you may capture something. You know, you may not see it at that time as you did it, but if you watch over your videos later on, to kind of see what you captured, see if you were able to hear anything, you might surprise yourself. So that's pretty much, a general idea how to do investigations. Just like I say, be courteous, be polite. Um, I have been with other paranormal teams that they're more or less pushing, trying to make their spirits interact with them. They kind of like agitate them, try to get some kind of activity from them. I have seen some spirits get a little agitated, a little angry, where they have done things where some of the team members have gotten injured, either by being scratched, pushed, bitten, having things thrown at them. So that, unless you're aware of what you're doing and that's what you want to try to get, that's kind of up to you. But to be on the safe side, be courteous, be polite. Allow them to interact with you at their terms. Excuse me. Um, like I say, that's pretty much, kind of fills you in, especially if you're a beginner. And like I say, be sure to watch some of my other videos on equipment. There will be more educational videos that I will be doing that could better help you out with some of your questions, give you some kind of ideas that you can do. So kind of keep an eye out for those. If you do watch this video and you do have any questions, hit that comment button down below. I do watch over my comments and keep track of everything everybody says. I do get some negatives that disagree, but I'm going to get that. That's fine. Everybody has their opinion. I got other people that have questions, or they may even seen something in my video that I missed, or heard something that I didn't hear. They always comment and say, "Hey, I saw this. You need to go back and look at it." And a lot of times I'll go back and go, "Whoa, I don't know how I missed that the first time around," but it does happen. So leave a comment there. Let me know. I guess until our next video, I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope this one was helps you out, possibly, in becoming a paranormal investigator, or if you already are one, there might be some tips or hints in there that you never thought of that you might try, and we'll see you on our next video.